Maoyu is an anime that I was recommended when it came out, and then I decided not to watch it because why the fuck would I want to watch an anime about economics? Fast forward like a decade later, and now I'm like, man, I would so much rather watch an anime about economics than I would anyone punching anyone else at this point. So, basically, it's a classic Demon King sort of setup. Hero leaves his adventuring party to go confront the Demon King and is like, Demon King, I'm gonna kill you. Turns out the Demon King is like a really hot lady. And she's like, hold up, you can't kill me because the war economy is propping up the entire human civilization, and if you kill me and the war ends, the human civilization is going to collapse and millions of people are going to die. And he's like, oh shit, I didn't think of that. And she's like, yeah, so how about this? How about you and I basically get married, and then what'll happen is that together we can work on bringing human and demon civilization to a point where the war can safely end without collapsing all of society, and we can bring about the coexistence of humans and demons. And he's like, now why do I need to marry you? And she's like, hey, that's part of it. And he's like, all right, fine. And so that is basically what this show is about these two using scientific advancements that I have no idea how she knows about, as well as economical advantages to try and progress mostly human civilization in this one, but there is some interplay with the demon world, to a point in which the war can safely end. Gradually let people in on the information that she is the Demon King, and it actually manages to go pretty well. This really is a lot about trade and economic systems. There's a whole thing about this setting up dual currencies based around using wheat as a secondary currency because they are planning to change the official currency. The church is planning to change the official currency. There's it's a lot about economics. I'm not sure necessarily how accurate some of this stuff is, especially when it gets into the farming and the way the show utilizes crop rotation, because I am not a farmer. But I will say that it manages to get its point across pretty well. It is entertaining in that regard, and I have to admire the amount of respect that they put on the topic that they use within this show. It actually manages to deliver on pretty much every level. I will say, I don't think there is a single character in this with an actual name. The hero is just the hero. The Demon King is just the Demon King. The head maid is just called the head maid. It's very Goblin Slayer in that regard, where no one's got a name. I also was pretty surprised at the way the romantic tension, the romantic relationship between the lead characters was delivered in this, in that I assumed it would be a very slow progression. I wasn't expecting an episode 1 marriage proposal. It does what a lot of episode 1 marriage proposals do, where the characters aren't, technically they're not married, but they're in a binding contract where they both agree to belong to each other. But as the head maid pointed out, they're fucking married. They agreed to get married. That is marriage. So anyway, the point I'm actually trying to make is that it does that thing where technically the characters are in a relationship right at the start, and then the romantic development sort of peter off throughout the whole course of the show. There are some nice, cute moments. This is very unfinished. It's a lot of setup for a season 2 that never happened, probably because it sort of continues on into the light novels. But regardless, it was very enjoyable. I, surprisingly enough, really came on board with the hero's party. The hero himself has some layers of depth, but he wasn't necessarily my favorite character, and really the Demon King is sort of the main character of the entire show. Twitch and Discord in the description. I've been Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope. Bye-bye!